Something in you has gone quiet that was never meant to be silent. You used to want things badly, used to feel a fire when you imagined the life you could build, and somewhere along the way that fire dimmed to a flicker you can barely feel anymore. Now you drift. You accept things you should never accept, tolerate a life that falls far short of what you know you are capable of, and you do it all with a strange calm that should terrify you. That calm is not peace. It is surrender wearing the mask of contentment, and underneath it, buried deep, is a version of you that is furious about where you have ended up and has forgotten how to speak. Look at what you have made peace with, the job that bores you into numbness, the body you let slip because caring felt like too much effort, the dreams you filed away under someday and quietly stopped believing in. You have accepted all of it, adjusted to it, told yourself this is just how life goes, and that acceptance is precisely the problem. You should be disturbed by the gap between who you are and who you could be. You should feel something sharp when you think about the potential rotting inside you. But you feel almost nothing, and that numbness is not maturity. It is the slow death of the part of you that once refused to settle. Notice how comfortable your dissatisfaction has become. You complain, sure, you feel the vague ache of a life not fully lived, but you have made even that ache comfortable, a background hum you have learned to ignore. This is the most dangerous place a man can be, not in pain sharp enough to force change, but in a dull discomfort soft enough to endure forever. You are not suffering enough to act, and not satisfied enough to be at peace, just floating in a lukewarm middle that could swallow your entire life. The tragedy is that you could stay here for decades, mildly unhappy, mildly comfortable, until the years run out and the flicker finally dies. The Welsh poet Dylan Thomas wrote a line that should shake every man who reads it. "Do not go gentle into that good night," he wrote. "Rage, rage against the dying of the light." He was writing about death. But the truth cuts deeper than that, because most men are dying long before their bodies quit. They go gentle into a life of quiet resignation, drifting toward the end without ever fighting for the life they wanted, accepting the dimming of their own light without a struggle. Thomas understood that surrender is a choice, that a man can either rage against his own decline or slip into it peacefully, and that the peaceful slipping is the greater tragedy. Understand what that fire actually is, because you have been taught to fear it. The anger you feel at your own wasted potential is not a flaw to suppress, but a signal to obey, a message from the deepest part of you that refuses to accept the life you have settled for. Channeled correctly, that fire becomes the fuel for everything, the force that drives a man out of bed before dawn, that pushes him through the work others avoid, that refuses to let him rest in a mediocrity he was never meant for. The problem is not that you feel this fire. The problem is that you have smothered it, buried it under comfort and distraction, until you can barely feel it burning anymore.
Here is a psychological truth that should change how you see your own discomfort. The dissatisfaction you feel, the frustration at where you are, is one of the most powerful motivating forces a human being possesses, but only if you refuse to numb it. Most people do the opposite. They feel the discomfort and immediately reach for something to soften it. The scroll, the drink, the distraction, anything to quiet the signal. And in quieting it, they kill the very force that could have driven them to change. The fire that could have transformed them gets drowned again and again, until they no longer feel it at all, and with it dies their last chance at a different life. Look at the discipline this fire demands. because rage without direction is just noise. The men who accomplish great things are not calm, contented people who drift pleasantly towards success. They are driven, often by a deep dissatisfaction, a refusal to accept things as they are, a fire that will not let them rest. But they aim that fire, point it at the work, convert the raw energy of their frustration into relentless action rather than letting it burn uselessly as complaint. This is the difference between a man consumed by his anger and a man fueled by it. One rages and does nothing. The other takes the same fire and builds a life with it, one hard day at a time. Consider what your comfort is actually costing you. Every time you soothe your dissatisfaction instead of acting on it, you make a trade, exchanging the fire that could have changed your life for a moment of ease that changes nothing. The comfort feels good, feels deserved, but it is stealing from you, draining the energy you need to become who you could be, keeping you docile and settled when you should be restless and driven. You have been anesthetizing the exact pain that was trying to save you, treating the signal as the problem, and in doing so, you have kept yourself trapped in a life your deeper self is screaming to escape. The clock is the thing that should light the fire if nothing else does. Every day you drift. Every day you accept the unacceptable. Another day is subtracted from a total you cannot see, spent on a life that falls short of what you were capable of. You do not have unlimited time to finally get serious, to finally feel the fire again, to finally build the life you keep postponing. The years are burning whether you use them or not, and the calm resignation you have mistaken for peace is letting them burn on nothing. If the waste of your potential does not anger you, let the waste of your time do it, because that clock will not wait for you to wake up. Understand that the fire is still in you, buried but not dead, waiting to be fed. You have not lost the capacity for it, only smothered it under years of comfort and numbness. And the moment you stop soothing your dissatisfaction and start listening to it, the fire begins to return. Feel the anger at your wasted potential fully. Refuse to numb it. Let it burn hot enough to move you, and then aim it at the work that would change everything. The energy you need was never missing. It was only suppressed, drowned by your own desperate efforts to stay comfortable, and it comes roaring back the instant you give it permission to burn. So stop going gentle into a life you never chose, and let yourself feel the fire you have spent years putting out. The dissatisfaction, the frustration, the anger at where you have ended up. None of it is your enemy. It is the last living part of you that refuses to settle, and it is trying to save your life. Feed it. Aim it. Let it drive you out of the lukewarm comfort that has been slowly killing you, into the hard, demanding, alive work of becoming who you were meant to be. The men who build extraordinary lives are fueled by exactly this fire, and it is available to you right now, the moment you stop smothering it.